I'm Amy Cherry. This local news is a service of Flagler County's Toyota dealer, Beaver Toyota, here to wow ya. A Palm Coast man is killed in a single-vehicle crash over the weekend, Tony Magoo reports.
William Carden, a 37-year-old resident of Palm Coast, was killed early Saturday morning when his car overturned as he was approaching the Palm Coast Parkway exit on I-95. Carden made a last-second maneuver as he cut off another vehicle by swerving off onto the exit ramp. Carden overcorrected, then overturned several times before the car ended on its roof. The report said it's unknown if Carden was wearing a seatbelt and lists as pending whether the crash is alcohol-related. Passers-by broke windows in the car to gain access to Carden, who was still breathing after the accident. An emergency helicopter was called in at 1:05 a.m., but Carden was pronounced dead at 1:11. Flagler County Sheriff's deputies reported to the scene, as did Palm Coast Fire Department and Flagler County Fire Rescue paramedics, who pronounced Carden dead at the scene. Palm Coast Fire Police regulated traffic. The northbound exit was closed for several hours. For Flagler's Morning News, I'm Tony Magoo.
This portion of Flagler's Morning News brought to you by the Daytona Beach International Airport, Delta Airlines nonstop to Atlanta, and now nonstop service to New York City via American Airlines.
A man takes his own life, ending a 4-hour standoff in Palm Coast. Deputies were called to Pheasant Drive late Thursday morning for reports that a man had barricaded himself inside a home. A friend called 911 to tell deputies he feared the man inside was heavily armed and suicidal. A robot equipped with a camera entered the home and showed the man in his 50s had died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Deputies are investigating to be certain foul play wasn't involved. 2 dogs in the home were turned over to the Flagler Humane Society. New medical offices could be coming to Palm Coast. John Arking takes a look.
The approximately 4 acres of land is located at Matanzas Woods Parkway and Belterre Parkway and is expected to be purchased by Flagler Hospital within the next few weeks. If all goes as planned, the hospital will locate what's been called a medical village that would include providers like a pediatrician, orthopedist, and primary care physician, among others. A similar development in St. Johns County also includes a YMCA facility. The effort to buy the parcel follows conversations between Flagler County's Economic Development Office and hospital officials, although no formal economic incentive plan is thought to be part of the deal. The land in question, which is owned by First United Methodist Church of Palm Coast, is zoned neighborhood commercial. That will allow a medical office use, but not facilities like a hospital or laboratory. It's also unlikely to provide mental health services or a maternity ward, even though local officials have been arguing in favor of those. However, the proposed facility is likely to add to the competition between Flagler Health and Advent Health, which is planning a standalone emergency room less than a mile away. From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm John Arkin.
Sea Ray has been gone for a while, and while at this point some people don't even remember it, what could happen with the empty property?
Helga Van Eckert, the executive director of Flagler County's Department of Economic Opportunity, says that the current owner, Brunswick Boats, does not want another marine manufacturer at the site.
It actually would be a great site for a campus facility. So if you had a couple of smaller businesses that worked well together or provided synergy to each other, it's a great campus environment.
Van Eckert said the high ceilings from when Sea Ray made boats there would be a plus. She said that while having the building on the water would also be a plus, she doesn't see that much water use. To hear the entire interview, listen to the Free for All Friday podcast on the Flagler Radio app. You can download the Flagler Radio app today. Tomorrow, how's the job market in Flagler County? From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm Deb Albertson.
Hundreds put on their rubber gloves and, with garbage bags in hand, took part in the annual Intercoastal Waterway cleanup. In its 12th year, the cleanup targets various public parks along the waterway, like St. Joe's Walkway, Flagler Beach, Long Creek Nature Preserve, and Herschel King Park. Boaters also take to the waterway itself, clearing canals. Councilman Bob Cuff was among those who took part, along with local Girl Scout troops. And adding a little fun to the whole thing, there were prizes for some of the most interesting finds. Leah Raposo went home with tickets to Marineland for the most unique find in a bread maker. Other weird items included a lampshade, birdhouse, a bodyboard, and a cell phone. Girl Scout Troop 1527 took home the award for the most trash collected with 150 pounds. The most common piece of trash picked up that day, for which no award was given, cigarette butts. And now you're up to date on Flagler's Morning News. I'm Amy Cherry.